Welcome to episode 2 of Bandits Weekly, presented by Smash Supplements, where you can get everything you need to power through your day and level up. Located in downtown Brooks, open Monday to Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4. My name is Nathan Crosby. Thanks for everyone who listened and watched episode 1 of Bandits Weekly. Caelan Fitzpatrick is our guest for episode 2, but before we get to that interview, let's recap the weekend that was for the Brooks Bandits. 2023-24 regular season is off and running. Bandits began on the road Friday night in Drayton Valley, Saturday in Whitecourt. Bandits had a 2-1 lead after the first period Friday in Drayton Valley. Goals from Parker Lalonde, who signed with the team this offseason. He was in the BCHL last year with Powell River. He's a Mankato commit. Bandits give up a shorthanded goal against. Turns out it was the only goal of the weekend they gave up. And then Caelan Fitzpatrick reclaims the lead with his first of the season. It was 2-1 Brooks after the first. No goals in the second, no goals in the third, and Johnny Hicks wins his debut as a Bandits starter. So congratulations to him, and the Bandits pick up the win in DV. Saturday, the team heads to Whitecourt. We chatted with assistant coach Taylor Macon before the game. Wanted a bit more energy out of the team, and man, they came out flying in the first period in Whitecourt. Power play goal from Nathan Free, and then Fitzpatrick scores another one to make it 2-0 Brooks. Johnny Hicks was terrific in net. 22 save shutout, his first career shutout, and the Bandits add 2 more goals in the third period. Quinn McCall, new defenseman out of Indiana that's committed to Holy Cross, scores his first career AJHL goal. And then Jordan Huseman wins an offensive zone faceoff and scores off the draw, does it all himself and makes it 4-0, and that's your final. The Bandits are 2-0 to start the year, outscoring the opposition 6-1 through their first 2 games in some tough places to play, and there were some good crowds in both Drayton and Whitecourt. Shout out to the Brooks U11 AA Junior Bandits. They were at a tournament in Whitecourt on Saturday. They came to the game that night, and they created a lot of energy and noise in the stands. So thanks to them, they were awesome. So the Bandits get ready for a busy week coming up, but before we talk about that, let's get to our interview with this week's guest. It's Bandits centerman Caelan Fitzpatrick. Caelan, great to catch up with you. Before we get to the weekend and the regular season opening, I got to ask, at the Bandits golf tournament, your team won Best Dressed. Quite the outrageous shirt. What was it like wearing it?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a fun thing to do as a group, and yeah, I don't know, definitely the best dressed on the course.
And we got to give a shout out to your billets, of course, and the sponsor of this podcast, Smash Supplements, who were also decked out in the same shirts.
Yeah, for sure.
So the season is off to a start. Drayton Valley, Whitecourt on the weekend. What did you think of how the team performed?
I thought we played well for our first 2 games of the year, but I think we definitely have some things we have to tune up. We got to work on bearing on our chances. We had a lot of shots and only had 2 goals in Drayton Valley, which isn't like us, but I think we just fix those things and we'll be rolling.
How do you think everyone's coming together, though, with the new faces, the returning players? How do you think everything's meshing?
I think it's meshing pretty good. I think we have a tight group of guys, like especially help going to Sweden, just having that extra time to get to know each other, and now I think the group's really tight. We hang out lots, and I think it just shows on the ice.
I know you wanted to score more goals on the weekend, but just the 1 goal against on the Friday night in Drayton. A comment just on how stingy the team was, how well the defense and goaltending were.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge part of it. We have a good goalie in that, Johnny Hicks. He does a great job back there, and just being able to outscore your opponents and give up as least as possible, and I think that's one thing we did really well on the weekend.
All right, moving on to things about you. I mean, this year, you're coming back to the Bandits for your final year of junior hockey, and you're wearing the A on the jersey. What does that mean?
It's a huge honor to be able to be one of the leaders on the team this year, and you know, we've had lots of good leaders in the past, and just being able to use things that you've learned from other guys and incorporate your own style into leading the team, you know, leading by example, stuff like that. So, it's a huge honor.
And yourself, I mean, development-wise, goals this year, what are they?
Going for another national championship is the main goal, but, you know, I don't really have anything specific, just working on things every day, like winning face-offs and, you know, getting grade A scoring chances in games and making the right play, stuff like that.
Okay, so let's go to hockey school with Caelan Fitzpatrick, how to win a face-off. What are the things you can tell us about why you're able to be so successful on the dot? What makes a good face-off?
You got to be hard on your stick. That's one thing for sure, and then being able to time it properly so you got the edge on the opponent and just timing it with how the ref drops it. So,
is that something, or what are the things you do in practice to work on face-offs?
I'll just practice face-offs. It's pretty simple.
Duh.
but yeah, no, it definitely helps, and repetition is key for those.
How about skating? What have you done to improve your skating?
I've done some power skating throughout the summer. I do every summer, and I think that's one thing that's really helped me as the years go on. And, just trying to incorporate that at the start of practice before you get going in practice to make sure your stride's feeling good and everything. So I think it carries over.
So you've been playing in Brooks now for well over a year, but for those that don't know you, tell us about where you're from and about your family.
I'm from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, and I have a younger brother, Liam, who's now on the team, and an older brother, Josh, who's 23 and he's in school. So.
And your family, what do they do?
My dad's an electrician and my mom's a IT worker.
And they got to come over to Sweden, and what an experience that was for your whole family. Why do you think that was so special, not just for you and Liam, but your parents coming over and getting to watch you guys as well?
Yeah, I know. I thought it was really special to be able to bring the whole family on such a cool experience like that and playing in Sweden. And I don't know, it was awesome having them there with you and watching games and be able to spend time with them.
Getting to play with your brother is pretty special. What does it mean to you to share this experience with Liam?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to play with him, something I've never done before. And I mean, it's awesome so far, and just being able to lead him through junior hockey is a cool experience for sure, and just giving pointers here and there on how he can be better. And it's obviously cool playing with your brother. So,
how would you describe the difference between you and Liam, personality-wise and hockey-wise?
Oh God, I'm more of a power forward, and I think Liam tries to be a little bit more skilled when he can, but he's also a big body, and he can play that power forward role too. And I mean, personality-wise, I'd say we're pretty close.
I'd say so too. You guys seem very similar. Like,
yeah.
Neither of you will ever be like the loudest person in the room.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But you can definitely tell that we're brothers just by looking at us. So.
Yeah. Awesome. This year we're going to have our banner ceremony on Friday night. You were part of it last year, but this year you're going to look up at those banners and say, I was a part of that last year. What does that mean? How excited are you for this home opener?
Oh, I'm super excited. And, it just brings back all the memories from last year and being able to win nationals last year. It's just an awesome feeling and fire you up to want to do it again. That was a crazy experience, and being able to do it again would be something special.
You have lots of experience playing in Centennial Cups. Might as well finish your career at another one, hopefully. Yeah. And then last year, the other big experience you had was playing for Team Canada at the World Junior A Challenge out in Cornwall. What did you take from that experience?
I just playing with guys from different teams was something definitely cool, and it kind of let you see it from the other side, like how it is to play with different guys every game. And I don't know, I thought it was a really cool experience and something that definitely helped me elevate my game and just realize that there's lots of really good players out there, and it's just something you gotta keep working for to be better then. So.
I was going to say, you played with a lot of guys from other teams, but you also had half the team with you from
that's
Brooks. That was a crazy roster last year. But okay, before we go, we gotta talk about that acting debut you made last year in the Smash Supplements commercial that plays during home games. What was that experience like? You seemed a little nervous that day. I thought you did great, but what did you think of your acting experience?
I thought it went all right. I mean, I don't see it during the games, but hopefully it looks fine.
Would you consider doing more acting down the road?
You
kind of got that movie star look to you.
It's a possibility. We'll have to see.
Okay. Stay tuned for part 2 of the Smash Supplements commercial, and thanks to them for sponsoring this podcast. Caelan, great catching up with you. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
Thanks to Caelan Fitzpatrick for joining us on this episode of Bandits Weekly presented by Smash Supplements. Looking ahead to this upcoming week for the Brooks Bandits, it's a busy one. Tuesday night, the team is back on the bus. They'll head up to Camrose for their first test against the Kodiaks of the year. Camrose is also 2-0 on the season. They beat Whitecourt in a shootout the night before we were there, and then had their home opener on Saturday and beat the Olds Grizzlies 2-1. The Bandits have won 26 of their last 29 meetings with the Kodiaks. Last year, the 6-game season series, Brooks took 5 out of 6. That one loss is the last time the Bandits have lost in the regular season. So they come in on a 14-game regular season winning streak into Tuesday's game up in Camrose, which is a 7 o'clock start. And as a new head coach in Camrose, as Derek Martin has taken over. So we'll get to see the Kodiaks on Tuesday. Looking forward to it. Then on the weekend, the home opener against the Sherwood Park Crusaders. They looked pretty good on the weekend. Crusaders have the most goals scored by any team so far in the AJHL. They put up 11 on the weekend and are 2-0. So a good test for the Bandits in their home opener. Of course, there's the free tailgate outside in the parking lot, banner ceremony, player introductions, 7 o'clock Friday night at the CRA. Home opener, can't wait. And it's going to be a great matchup between Brooks and Sherwood Park. Last year, the Bandits and Crusaders split their season series. We were in Sherwood last October. That was that 2-1 shootout game that the Crusaders were able to hang on and win despite being badly outshot. Then they came down to Brooks in February, and the Bandits won 5-0. Then Saturday, the Bandits wrap up a busy week with another home game. Whitecourt is in town for a rematch. The Bandits will face the Wolverines 3 times by the end of this month. They'll play again at the Showcase in Calgary next week. So that's what's on schedule this week. You can get your tickets at brooksbandits.ca. News and notes before we wrap up this week's edition of Bandits Weekly. I want to give a special shout out to Sean Chisholm, who was named the captain for Dartmouth. Chisholm was in Brooks from 2019 to 21. Had a terrific season, points per game wise, during that COVID-shortened 2020-21 season. And I always thought, had that been a full 60-game season, he would have put up big numbers that year for Brooks. But he's having a great career in the NCAA at Dartmouth. This is what the head coach of the Big Green had to say. This is Reed Cashman. It became very clear that we have a captain, time and time again, in the words of the players. It's how he approaches every day, focuses on being the best version of himself and having a voice in the room on game days. So awesome stuff to see a former Bandit wear the C for such a prestigious program like Dartmouth. Speaking of Bandits in the NCAA, Josh Singer, former defenseman with the Bandits who won a Centennial Cup here in 2022. He was named to the All-CCHA preseason team. Last year for Northern Michigan, he played all 38 games. This year, Northern Michigan is ranked second in the CCHA coaches poll, and Zinger will be joined by his fellow teammate here in Brooks, Brendan Poshak, who's heading off for his freshman year. So good luck to both Zinger and Poshak. And now we're starting to see some Bandits in the NHL system. Obviously, Cale Makar, but now Ryan McAllister, who's been with the Florida Panthers at their showcase this September. And last spring signed his first pro contract. He played the end of last year with Charlotte in the American Hockey League. So looking for a great season coming up for Ryan McAllister, the former CJHL MVP. We just want to say congratulations on all his success. Good luck this year, Callie. So that will do it for this week's edition of Bandits Weekly presented by Smash Supplements. Don't forget you can watch this episode on YouTube or stream for free on the Bandits Weekly Spotify channel. Bandits home to the Sherwood Park Crusaders on Friday, Whitecourt on Saturday. We'll see you at the CRA. For Bandits Weekly, I'm Nathan Crosby.